Rain pelts the windows of the hospital like 1,000 tiny darts. My wife, Julia, is tucked behind a curtain that feels more like a fortress. My brother, Travis, is a couple of beds down, getting hit with the same ugly word the doctor just dropped on me. My parents are huddled in the corner, muttering like they just got caught sneaking out past curfew. The doc talks about timelines, but all I hear is the sound of excuses crumbling. "Mr. Bennett," the doctor says, her voice slicing through the sterile buzz of the place. "We need to go over your wife's test results." Julia's been sick as a dog since we got back from the rented cabin near Lake Tahoe 3 hours ago. Shivering, too. Travis tagged along with us since his car was getting fixed. We thought it was bad shrimp from that sketchy diner by the water. "Nope. Chlamydia," Dr. Morgan says, calm as if she's reading the weather. "Both patients. Based on the incubation period, exposure likely happened within the last 2 weeks. The machines hum, steady like a heartbeat until you really listen." Julie and I have been married for 12 years. We headed to the cabin on Friday. Today's Sunday. 2 weeks back, I was installing new wiring at a big house in Reno while Julia was at home with Travis, supposedly helping him rearrange his stuff. He's been crashing at our place in Sparks since his landlord kicked him out for skipping rent. "Are you sure about that?" I ask, the words spilling out like spare bolts from my toolbox. Dr. Morgan nods. "We'll need to test you, too. Standard procedure." Behind me, Mom's voice creeps up just loud enough to catch. "Henry, we've got to say something to him." Dad hushes her quickly. They think the machines drown them out. I can wire a whole office complex blindfolded, but I can't piece together how my wife and my brother both caught this thing over the same weekend. "Unless..." "Doc," I say, keeping my voice as steady as a 120-volt line. "How long before symptoms show up?" "Usually 7 to 21 days, she says, sometimes faster with multiple exposures." Multiple exposures. Fancy talk for getting burned more than once. Julia's curtain shifts. She's awake. "Carter," she calls, her voice thin, cautious. "Can you come here?" I glance at Dr. Morgan. She gives a nod and steps away. Julia's pale against the hospital sheets, IV tubes twisting into her arm like tiny snakes. Still beautiful, even with guilt carved into her face like cracks in old pavement. "You holding up?" I ask, knowing it's a dumb question. She tries to grin but comes up short. "Carter, I need to tell you something." The test results are screaming loud enough already. Her face falls apart. "It's not what you're thinking." "What am I thinking, Julia?" She doesn't answer. Can't, maybe. From 2 beds over, Travis's voice floats in, casual as ever. "Yeah, just some bug we caught. Should be out of here soon." He's on the phone, acting like he's calling in sick to a job he hasn't shown up for in weeks. "Carter." Julia's hand grabs mine, weak but desperate. "We need to talk. All of us." "All of us." "Your parents know," she adds. "They've been trying to keep it quiet." Keep it quiet, like it's just a busted fuse that could spark a fire if anyone notices. Dr. Morgan's back with a clipboard. "Mr. Bennett, we need that blood draw now. Also, given the situation, we recommend testing your kids as a precaution." The room spins. My kids, ages 7 and 10. "It's routine when there's potential household exposure," she says. "No need to worry them." Routine, like checking a circuit breaker. But my kids. "If there's been any inappropriate contact, we need to know," she adds. My hands know how to fix a blown deadline, but this, I'm lost. Dr. Morgan leaves. I head to Travis's bed, his curtains half open, and he's still on the phone, scrolling through texts with one hand. "Nah, he won't turn on family," he says into the phone. "Mom's got him on a leash, always has." He sees me standing there. His face stays blank, no flinch. "Gotta go," he tells the phone. "Family meeting." "Who was that?" I ask. "Jimmy from the shop," he says. "Just letting him know I'm out tomorrow." Jimmy Holt's been my foreman at Bennett Electric for 8 years. He knows Travis only shows up when he feels like it, maybe twice a month. "Travis," I say, voice low. "How long?" He looks at me like I just asked him to explain rocket science. "How long what?" "With my wife." The words hang there, heavy as storm clouds. His IV pump picks that moment to screech, a sharp beep like a busted smoke alarm. "Carter, you're worked up. You're not thinking clear." "I'm thinking crystal clear. Answer the question." "Since Christmas," Julia says behind me. I turn. She's standing at the edge of the bay, dragging her IV pole like it's a white flag. "Since Christmas?" I echo. "Christmas Eve," she says, "when you were out on that emergency call at the mall." December 24th. The downtown shopping center in Carson City lost power during the holiday rush. I spent 6 hours in a freezing basement, rerouting cables while folks waited to grab last-minute gifts. Got home at midnight to find Julia and Travis sipping whiskey by the Christmas tree, claiming they were wrapping presents. Not that night, she says, but that's when it started. The talking, she stops. The what, Julia? The spark, she says, like they were wiring a circuit instead of torching 12 years of marriage and 38 years of brotherhood. Mom and Dad shuffle up behind her. They look worn out, like old cables frayed from too much current. Son, Dad says, we need to sit down and sort this out. As a family. Family. The word tastes like rust and ash. When were you planning to clue me in on this family mess? We hoped they'd stop on their own, Mom says. Didn't want to hurt you if we didn't have to. If they didn't have to, like betrayal from the 3 people I trusted most was optional. How long have you known? I ask. Dad shifts. A few weeks. How many weeks? Since February, Mom admits. February. 2 months of shared dinners, work talks, weekend trips, kids' birthday parties. 2 months of sitting across from them at the kitchen table, splitting bills, planning a summer getaway, while they all knew. Travis clears his throat. Look, Carter, we didn't mean for this to happen. It just did. What, you slipped and landed on my wife? Don't be crude, he says. Crude. The guy who's been with my wife is worried about my language. The doc says the kids need testing, I say, the words hitting like a sledgehammer. Travis goes pale. Julia slumps into a chair. Carter, come on, Travis whispers. You can't think I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know any of you. Dr. Morgan's back with a nurse. Mr. Bennett, ready for that blood draw? I roll up my sleeve, let them jab me. The needle's clean. Quick. I watch my blood fill the vial and think about how easy it is to draw a line between what's mine and what's been taken. The doc says my results will be back in about an hour. 60 minutes to sit in this sterile hellhole, waiting for the lab to confirm what I already know deep down. I'm clean, but Julia and Travis aren't. Everything I thought I knew about my life's been a lie. Mom reaches for my arm. Carter, we can sort this out, she says. Therapy, maybe. We'll work through it together. Together? I pull away. Stop acting like we're some happy family. Don't make a scene, Dad snaps, his voice low. People are listening. Listening? That's his worry. Not that my marriage is in flames. Not that his daughter-in-law's a cheat. Not that his younger son's a backstabber. He's fretting over what strangers in the waiting room might think. You know what, Dad? Let the whole damn city hear it. I storm out of the bay, past the nurse's desk, and through the sliding doors into the parking lot. The rain stopped, but the asphalt still shines under the streetlights. My phone pings. A text from Travis. We gotta talk. Not here. Tomorrow. I fire back. Nothing to say. His reply's instant. There is. About the business. About what this means for all of us. The business. Bennett Electric. The company Dad built from the ground up 40 years ago. He passed it to Travis and me 5 years back, when his hands got too shaky for climbing ladders and threading wires. Travis has been draining it dry with his poker habit, while I thought we were just hitting a rough patch. I climb into my truck and dial Karen, our office manager. She picks up fast. Carter, you okay? It's almost midnight. Change all the access codes first thing tomorrow, I tell her. Doors, computers, the works. What's going on? I'll explain later. Just do it. And Karen, don't tell Travis. You're freaking me out, Carter. Good. Things are about to get messy. I drive home through deserted streets. The house looks normal from the outside. Porch light glowing, newspapers stacked by the door, Julia's car in the driveway. Like nothing's wrong. Inside, it's a different story. The couch where she laughed with him, the dining table where they probably cooked up their lies, the hallway to our bedroom where she'd kiss me after sneaking off to some shady motel. I check on the kids. Mia and Owen are out cold, sleeping the way only kids can. Mia's got her science homework scattered across her desk. Owen's got plastic army men lined up on his windowsill, like they're guarding his dreams. They don't know yet. I don't know how to tell them their mom's a stranger and their uncle's a snake. My phone rings. It's Julia. Carter, please come back. We need to finish talking. We're done talking. No, we're not. There's stuff you don't get. Then spell it out. Not over the phone, come back. I'm done with hospitals tonight. Done with all of you. Her voice cracks. Carter, I love you. I've always loved you. This thing with Travis, it's complicated. Complicated. A word that means nothing when your life's been gutted. Julia, one question. Answer straight. No games. Okay. Are you in love with him? The line goes quiet, like a cable stretched too tight. Yes, she whispers, but it's not like what we have. What we have, I laugh, bitter, like we've got anything left. Goodbye, Julia. I hang up and sit in the living room till sunrise, watching shadows shift as the light creeps in, my life turning into something I don't recognize. At 7:30, I head to Bennett Electric in Reno. Karen's already there. Coffee pot humming, paperwork spread across her desk. Codes are changed, she says, not looking up. Care to tell me why? Travis has been stealing. Her eyes snap to mine. Stealing what? Money, time, my wife. Karen's face freezes. She's been with us long enough to read the subtext. Carter, I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry. Help me figure out how much he took. We dig through the books all morning, missing petty cash going back months, payments to suppliers I've never heard of, credit card charges for hotels and dinners on days Travis said he was out on jobs. Here, Karen says, pointing to a line, Silver Pines Motel, charged to the business account, same day you were wiring that big house in Carson City. Same day. While I was running cables through walls, Travis was unraveling my marriage 3 miles away. How much total? She punches numbers into her calculator. About $9 grand over the last 6 months. $9,000. My money, used to bankroll the wrecking of my life. Jimmy rolls in at 8:15. He sees me at Karen's desk, papers everywhere, and his jaw tightens. Supply issue? He asks. People issue? Travis's truck pulls into the lot at 9:45. I watch him through the office window, taking his time, checking his phone, fixing his hair in the side mirror like it's just another morning. He strolls through the shop door, still in yesterday's clothes, flashing a guilty grin. Morning, folks. Sorry I'm late. Hospital kept us longer than we thought. Kept who? Jimmy asks. Me and Julia. Bad shrimp from that diner by Lake Tahoe. Thought you said it was a bug, I say. Travis freezes mid-step. What? Last night, you told someone on the phone it was a bug you caught. I wasn't sure what it was then. But you're sure now? Doc said chlamydia? The word lands like a hammer on steel. Karen stops typing. Jimmy sets his coffee down. The guys in the back go quiet. Carter, Travis says, voice low. Maybe we take this outside. Why? You've been messing with my life for months. Seems like everyone deserves to know. Don't do this here. Do what? Tell the truth? You've been sleeping with my wife since Christmas. You've been siphoning cash from the business to pay for it. You've been lying to me every day for 5 months. Travis's jaw clenches. You don't get the whole picture. Lay it out then, I say to Travis. Not here, not like this, he mutters. Right here, right now, in front of everyone whose paychecks you've been messing with. Jimmy stands up from his workbench. Travis, this true? Travis scans the shop, 5 pairs of eyes locked on him, 5 people who trusted him. It's not that simple, he says. It's real simple, I snap, stepping closer. You're done. You can't fire me, he shoots back. I'm part owner. Minority owner. Karen, what's the split? 60-40, she says. Carter's got the majority. Travis's face goes red. Dad split it even. Dad gave us equal responsibility. I bought you out of 10% 2 years ago when you needed cash for that Atlantic City trip. Remember? When you blew 15 grand at the tables? We never made it official. Karen, show him the papers. She slides a folder across the desk. Signed, notarized, filed with the state of Nevada. Travis skims the documents, his face draining to ash. This is garbage, Carter. You can't do this over personal drama. Personal drama? My voice climbs. You siphoned 9 grand from the business to sneak around with my wife. That's not drama. That's a crime. Prove it. I shove the credit card statements at him. Silver Pines Motel, 42 charges in 5 months. Carson Valley Inn, 10 times. That Italian joint on Main Street every Wednesday for 3 months. Want more? Travis stares at the papers, silent. This proves nothing, he mumbles. It proves you lied about where you were and what you were doing. It proves you used company funds for your own fun. That's embezzlement. I'll pay it back. Too late. Jimmy clears his throat. Carter, what's the plan? Get his truck keys, all of them. Building keys, company cards, everything. This is nuts, Travis says. You're torching the family business over what? Say it, Travis. Over what? He won't. Can't. Jimmy holds out his hand. Keys. Jimmy, come on, we've been at this together for years. Yeah, and I've been wondering why the cash drawer is always short. Why we keep rebuying supplies. Why jobs cost more than they should. Jimmy's voice is steady, cold. Keys. Travis drops them into Jimmy's hand. They clink like loose change in a jar. This ain't over, Travis says to me. Yeah, it is. He heads for the door, then pauses. You think you're the one who's hurt? You got no clue what Julia's been dealing with, married to a guy who's at work 18 hours a day and comes home too beat to even see his own wife. So this is on me, I fire back. I pushed her away by working to keep the family you've been robbing afloat? You pushed her away by being a dull, predictable jerk who thinks life's all about wiring codes and extra shifts. The shop falls silent. Even the hum of the fluorescent lights seems to pause. I step toward Travis, slow and steady. He braces like he's expecting a punch. I don't swing. Instead, I pull out my phone and dial the police. Sparks Police Department, the line answers. I need to report a theft. Business embezzlement. Yeah, I'll hold. Travis bolts for the door. I let him go. Where's he gonna run? The truck's company property. His apartment's gone since his landlord kicked him out. His girlfriend's married to me. Carter Bennett on Virginia Street, I tell the dispatcher. I'm filing a theft report against an employee. The morning blurs into paperwork and questions. Officer Lopez takes my statement, snaps photos of the receipts, copies the credit card records. All business, no nonsense. We'll need to speak with the suspect, he says. Know where he's at? Probably at my house with my wife. Lopez nods, like that's just another day in Sparks. We'll track him down. For now, change your locks. Home and business. I head to the hardware store and grab new deadbolts, security chains, window locks. At the bank, I freeze our joint account, reroute my direct deposit to a new account in my name only. At the county clerk's office, I file for separation and a restraining order to keep Travis off company grounds. At the lawyer's office, I start the divorce process. By 5-0, I've torn my life apart and rebuilt it without the rotten pieces. I pick up Mia and Owen from school like it's any other Monday. Mia rambles about her history project. Owen shows me a sketch of a dragon torching a spaceship. Normal kid stuff. Beautiful, innocent kid stuff. Is Mom making dinner? Mia asks. Mom's under the weather. She's staying at Grandma and Grandpa's for a bit. Is Uncle Travis there too? Yeah, he's there. Are you and Mom fighting? Kids see everything. Yeah, sweetheart. Grown-up stuff. You don't need to worry. But she does. I see it in her eyes, the same look Julia gets when she's wrestling with something she can't fix. At home, I whip up spaghetti and garlic bread. The kids eat, glued to their cartoons. I sit at the kitchen table jotting lists. To do, install new locks, meet with the lawyer, transfer utilities to my name, call movers. To remember, Mia's dance class. Wednesday and Friday, Owen's eye doctor visit Thursday, parent-teacher meetings next week. To forget, 12 years of marriage, 38 years of brotherhood, the way Julia smiled at Travis's dumb jokes at family dinners, the way my parents looked at me like I was the one screwing up. My phone buzzes. Mom. Carter, we need to talk. No, we don't. Yes, we do. You're rushing into things you'll regret. Only regret I've got is not doing this sooner. Travis messed up. Julia messed up. People mess up. This wasn't a mess up, Mom. This was a choice. 5 months of choices. Marriage takes work, forgiveness, compromise. Did you forgive Dad when he stepped out on you in '89? Silence. Yeah, I know about that. Karen's mom works at the motel. Small town, big memory. That was different. How? Dad ended it. He came back. He fought for you. Travis isn't ending anything. Julia's not coming back, and I'm done trying to save something built on betrayal. I cut the call with Mom and power off my phone. At bedtime, I tuck Mia and Owen in, reading them stories about knights and spaceships, tales where the good guys win and the bad guys get what's coming. Simple stories with clean endings. Dad, Owen says as I flick off his light. Yeah, buddy. Are you and Mom getting a divorce? The question hits like a sledgehammer to the ribs. Maybe, Owen. I'm not sure yet. Billy's parents got divorced, he says. He says it's not so bad. He gets 2 birthdays now. 2 birthdays, huh? Yeah, and he stays up later at his dad's. Sounds like a deal. Can I stay up later if you and Mom split? I manage a grin despite the ache. We'll see. Tuesday morning kicks off with a call from my lawyer, Sandra Holt. Carter, we've got trouble. Julia filed first. Filed what? Divorce, yesterday afternoon. She's claiming irreconcilable differences and wants primary custody of the kids. On what grounds? She says you've been angry, erratic, threatening her and her brother-in-law, making the house unsafe for Mia and Owen. That's ridiculous. She's got witnesses. Your parents signed statements backing her up. I slump into a chair. They did what? Their affidavits say you've been unstable for months, that Travis was helping Julia deal with your supposed emotional abuse. What about the affair? They're denying it. Their filing says there was no affair, that you're paranoid, imagining things that never happened. The hospital tests, sealed. Patient privacy laws. We'd need a court order to see them. So they're saying I made it all up? They're claiming you're having a mental breakdown and need help. I laugh, a sharp, bitter sound. That's their play? Make me look unhinged? It's a common tactic. Paint the other spouse as unstable. Play the victim. What's our move? We fight it, Carter. But you've got to be careful. No contact with Julia or Travis. No heated calls, no confrontations. They're building a case that you're a threat. I've never touched her. I believe you, but we need proof. I hang up and call the shop. Karen picks up. Bennett Electric, this is Karen. It's Carter. Pull all security footage from the last 6 months. What kind? Everything. Shop, parking lot, office. I need to track Travis's movements. That's a ton of video. It's a ton of evidence. Carter, you okay? You sound… what? Mad? I am mad, Karen. Not crazy. There's a difference. I spend the morning swapping out locks on every door and window. Mid-install, a car rolls into the driveway. Julia's sister, Rachel, steps out with 2 suitcases and a forced smile. Hey, Carter, I'm here to grab some stuff for Julia and the kids. What stuff? Clothes, toiletries, school supplies. I step aside, let her in. She moves through the house like she's collecting evidence, snapping photos with her phone when she thinks I'm not looking. Kids are at school, I say. I know. Julia's picking them up early for appointments. What appointments? Therapy, to help them cope with all this. They don't need therapy. They need parents who stop lying. Rachel pauses, a stack of clothes in her arms. Carter, I know this is tough, but maybe Julia isn't the bad guy here. Then who is? Sometimes there's no bad guy. Sometimes people just drift apart. Drift apart? Not into someone else's bed. Julia didn't what? Didn't hook up with my brother? Didn't get tested for an STD Sunday night? Didn't burn through $9 grand of company money on motels? Rachel's face shifts. She bought their story, hook, line, and sinker. Julia wouldn't do that. Ask her to show you the test results. I leave her in the bedroom and get back to the locks. An hour later, she leaves with 1 suitcase, not 2. Wednesday brings another call from Sandra. They've filed for emergency custody, she says. Friday morning. Based on what? They claim you're drinking heavily, staying out all night, neglecting the kids' needs. All lies. Can you prove it? They've got photos of empty liquor bottles in your trash. I think about the whiskey I poured out Monday night, the wine I dumped, the beer I tossed, clearing the house for a fresh start. I wasn't drinking. I was getting rid of it. Photos don't show that. They've also got neighbors saying you've been working late, power tools running past midnight. I was installing security systems. Context isn't clear from their angle. It's a game, I realize. They're not just after custody. They're trying to ruin my credibility, my reputation, my ability to push back. Sandra, if I wanted to stop defending and start attacking, what would that look like? What do you mean? What if I stopped proving I'm not crazy and started proving they're liars? That's risky, Carter. If you're caught fabricating evidence or intimidating witnesses, not fabricating, finding the truth they're hiding. What truth? How Travis paid for motel rooms and fancy dinners on no income. How Julia spent afternoons sneaking around without anyone asking questions. Why my parents are so quick to call me nuts instead of admitting they raised a son who'd stab his brother in the back. You need to tread lightly. No, I need to stop playing nice. Nice got me played for 5 months. Nice got my life stolen while I was trying to be the good guy. What's your plan? Whatever it takes. I hang up and call Marcus Reed, who runs Reed's auto shop on the west side of Sparks. We've done wiring jobs for him over the years. Marcus Reed's the kind of guy who keeps things quiet, takes cash, and doesn't pry. Carter Bennett, he says when I call. Been a minute. I need a favor, Marcus. Off the record. What kind? I need you to tow a couple of vehicles to your lot. No questions asked. Whose rides? Mine, technically. Julia's sedan and Travis's speedboat are both financed through the business. Payments are 3 weeks late. Repo job, huh? Something like that. When? Tonight. Night work cost extra. Name your price. That evening, I meet Marcus at the docks outside Reno. Travis's boat sits on its trailer in the lot, draped under a green tarp like it's hiding something. Nice rig, Marcus says, hooking up the hitch. He paid for it with my money. Makes it yours then. That's how I see it. We haul it to his salvage yard and tuck it behind a pile of rusted cars. Tomorrow, Travis will notice it's gone. He'll call the cops, cry theft. They'll check the loan papers, see the missed payments, and call it a civil matter. Next, we head to Julia's sister's place in Carson City. Julia's SUV is parked in the driveway, keys probably dangling on Rachel's kitchen hook. This one's trickier, Marcus warns. It's not on company property. It's not hers either. Bank owns it till the loan's cleared. If you say so. 20 minutes later, the SUV's stashed with the boat behind the car pile. 2 assets secured, 2 cards in my hand. I pay Marcus in cash and drive home. The house feels hollow now, not just because Julia and the kids are gone, but because I'm turning into someone I don't know. A guy who takes what's his instead of begging for what's owed. My phone pings. A text from Travis. Meet me at the old fairgrounds tomorrow night. Alone. I reply, why? Things you don't know. About mom and dad. About the business. What things? Stuff that'll change how you see all this. Not over text. Too risky. Risky? What's risky about the truth? Thursday drags like a frayed wire. At Bennett Electric, we're slammed with a big job in downtown Sparks. The work feels good, steady. Wires go where they're supposed to. Circuits connect like they should. Power flows by the rules. Jimmy pulls me aside at lunch. Carter, you holding up? You seem locked in. Locked in how? Like you're cooking up a plan. Maybe I am. Want to talk? Better if you don't know. That's serious? That necessary? He nods and gets back to work. Jimmy's sharp enough to read the room. At Five Eyes, I tell Karen I'm out for the evening. Everything okay? She asks. Define okay. Carter, I'm worried. This mess is changing you. Good. The old me got played like a chump. The old you was solid. The old me was blind. Solid gets you cheated, lied to, and made to look like a nutcase in court. So what's the new you gonna do? Whatever it takes to come out on top. The fairgrounds stretch across 20 acres on the edge of Sparks, usually dead quiet except for the county festival in July. Tonight it's dark, just a few security lights flickering on the storage sheds. I park by the gate and wait. No sign of Travis's truck, but that doesn't mean he's not here. He could have hitched a ride, borrowed a car, or walked from town. My phone rings. You came, Travis says. Where are you? Doesn't matter, you alone? Yeah. Good. Drive to the bleachers. I weave through empty lots to the baseball field behind the fairground buildings. The bleachers loom like a ghost in the dark. Travis steps out from behind a snack shack, looking gaunt, like a cable stripped too thin. Thanks for showing. Talk. It's not what you think, Carter. None of it. What is it then? A setup? Mom's been skimming from the business for 3 years. Dad's been covering her tracks. The words hit like a power surge. No way. When's the last time you really checked the books? Not just Karen's summaries, the real numbers. Karen handles the books. Karen handles what Mom tells her to. The real ledgers are at their house, in Dad's office. Travis, if you're trying to, I'm trying to save your hide, mine, and the business. He pulls a folder from his coat. Look at these loan papers. 5 banks, all in my name, co-signed by Mom. I didn't sign them. I scan the documents. The signatures are mine. Too perfect. Mom's been forging yours for years. Birthday cards, anniversary notes to Julia. She's got it down cold. The signatures look legit. Too legit. Why show me this? When you filed for divorce and started digging into the credit card charges, Mom freaked. She knew you'd find the missing cash eventually. So she framed me for a breakdown? She framed us both. Me for the affair, you for losing it. When the loans come due and the business tanks, it looks like we tore it apart fighting over Julia. Mom and Dad walk away clean with his pension and the insurance payout. Maybe head to Arizona. Start fresh while we take the fall for 40 years of Bennett Electric going bust. The affair with Julia was real. You admitted it. I'm not denying it, but Mom knew from the start. She pushed it. Pushed it She told Julia you were planning to ditch her, that you'd been talking to lawyers, moving money, prepping to file. Julia thought you were already out the door. The pieces snapped together like a breaker clicking shut. So Julia thought I was done with her. Mom convinced her getting close to me was her shield, that if you tried to leave her with nothing, the family would back her. And you bought that? I thought I loved her. I thought she needed saving. I believed Mom when she said you were acting off, working too much, drinking alone. I don't drink. I know that now, but Mom's good at selling lies. He hands me a bank statement. The Bennett Electric account shows $10,000, but our records say it should be $45,000. Where's the rest? Moved to something called Silver Valley Holdings. Guess who owns it? Mom and Dad. Set up 2 years ago. Every month, Mom siphons 15 to 20 grand from the business to Silver Valley, then fudges the books to look like standard expenses. Karen would have caught it. Karen sees what Mom wants her to see, Travis says. Mom handles all the bank reconciliations. Karen just logs invoices and writes checks. It clicks. The tight budgets, the late vendor payments, the payroll dips that made me skip my own paycheck 3 times this year. Travis, why are you spilling this now? Because tomorrow morning, Silver Valley Holdings is calling in all the loans. The bank will lock our accounts. Mom's got forged papers showing you and I borrowed against the company. They'll liquidate the business to cover the debts, and she'll scoop up the assets at auction for pennies. New company, same game, but she owns it all. My stomach twists. Not shocked exactly. Just sick. How long have you known? Figured it out last week when you started sniffing around the credit card charges. I found the Silver Valley papers in Dad's desk. And you didn't tell me. I was going to, but then the hospital mess went down. You canned me and everything spiraled. The hospital mess, the STDs. Travis looks away. That was real. We got sloppy. Jesus, Travis. I know how it looks, Carter. But by the time I saw Mom's game, I was in too deep. The affair, my gambling debts, the business cash, she had me cornered. So you wrecked my marriage to cover your ass? I thought I was saving us both by keeping Mom from knowing I'd found the loans. If she thought I was just a screw-up caught cheating, she'd let me take the hit and move on. If she knew I had the financial records, she'd make sure I couldn't talk. The fairground lights blink on, tripped by motion sensors. Someone's coming. We gotta move, Travis says. Who is it? No idea, but I told Mom I was meeting you tonight. You told her? Had to. She's been tailing me since Monday, checking my phone, making sure I don't reach out. 2 cars roll into the fairgrounds, headlights cutting across the bleachers. Go, Travis says. Take the papers. Meet me tomorrow at Marcus's salvage yard noon. Why there? Your wife's SUV and my boat are there. Time to stop hiding. I snatch the folder and bolt to my truck. Behind me, car doors slam. Voices call Travis's name. I drive home with the documents riding shotgun, my brain spinning through what-ifs and fallout. At every stoplight, I check my mirrors for tails. The house is pitch black when I pull in. I park in the garage and sit for a second, trying to steady myself. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Stay away from Travis. Last warning. I reply, who's this? No answer. Inside, I spread the papers across the kitchen table. Loan applications, bank statements, Silver Valley Holdings Incorporation docs. It's all there. 3 years of calculated theft, dressed up as family trust and business partnership. Mom's been scheming since before Travis and I took over Bennett Electric, maybe longer. I think back to when she insisted on managing the books, brushing off my questions about cash flow, preaching about trusting family, not getting paranoid over money. Dad always backed her, never questioned her, not spineless, just in on it. I think about Julia buying their lies that I was planning to ditch her, finding comfort in Travis's arms. Manipulated, sure, but not blameless. I think about Mia and Owen, sleeping at their grandparents' tonight, clueless that their family's built on lies and greed. My phone rings. Private number. Carter Bennett, I answer. Detective Ramsey, Nevada State Police, Financial Crimes Unit. We've got some questions about your family business. Who told you I had trouble? We've had the Bennett family on our radar for months. Bank fraud, loan fraud, identity theft. Can we talk? When? How about now? It's 11:00 p.m. Fraud doesn't sleep, Mr. Bennett. Neither do we. 20 minutes later, Detective Ramsey's in my living room with a briefcase stuffed with documents that make Travis's folder look like a napkin scribble. We've been tracking Silver Valley Holdings since February, she says. Started as a routine audit, turned into something bigger. How big? Your family's been running this con for 5 years, not 3. Total take is around $350,000. 350 grand. Enough to buy a condo, retire early, torch everything Dad built and I busted my ass for. Why tell me? You're clean. Our investigation shows you didn't know about the fraud. You're a victim, not a player. What about Travis? He's been working with us for 2 weeks, feeding us most of these documents. He's angling for a deal, info for immunity. And Julia? Your wife seems unaware of the financial scheme. We've got no evidence she knew about the fraud, just the affair. That's a civil issue, Mr. Bennett. We're here for the crimes. Ramsey pulls a stack of photos from her briefcase. Bank security footage, parking lot surveillance, timestamps showing Mom and Dad making deposits and withdrawals from multiple accounts. We need your help to close the case, she says. What kind? Set up a meeting with your parents and Travis. Get them talking about the money. Let us record it. A sting? A confession on tape. What do I get out of it? Justice, recovered funds, protection from lawsuits when the bank figures out they've been had. If I say no, your parents will likely shred the evidence and vanish. Travis will take whatever deal he can grab, and you'll spend the next decade in court fighting bank claims and maybe criminal charges. I stare at the photos, the bank records, the proof of my family's betrayal. My whole life's been a lie. What do you need me to do? Ramsey grins. Just be you, Mr. Bennett, the pissed-off, betrayed son who wants answers. Let them try to talk their way out. When? Tomorrow. Travis already set it up. Family meeting at your parents' place, 2 p.m. He's been playing his own game, trying to save his skin. Whether that saves you depends on how sharp you play. Detective Ramsey zips up her briefcase and hands me a business card. Wear this tomorrow, she says, passing me a tiny device that looks like a button on a flannel. It's a transmitter. We'll be listening from a van down the block. What if they spot it? Then you're in a bind, Mr. Bennett. But from what we know about your family, you're already in deep. This is your shot to dig out. After she's gone, I sit in the dark kitchen till dawn, staring at the transmitter, wrestling with my options. I can wear the wire, turn on my parents, maybe save my business and my name. Or I can say no, let them slip away, and spend years fighting to prove I'm not the bad guy. Either way, my family's done. Friday morning rolls in, cold and overcast. I dress slow, tucking the transmitter under my shirt collar, and head to Bennett Electric in Sparks, maybe for the last time. Karen's at her desk, avoiding my eyes. Morning, I say. Morning. Everything all right? Carter, your mom called this morning. Said there's going to be some changes around here. Said you've been struggling, and she's stepping in to run things for a while. Did she mention she's been stealing from the business for 5 years? Karen's face goes pale. What? Did she mention Travis is working with the state police? Or that she forged loan papers in my name? Carter, you're freaking me out. Good, you should be. In about 6 hours, this place will be swarming with cops and feds. I grab my personal tools from the office, stuff I bought with my own cash, earned with my own work, and load them into my truck. Where are you headed? Karen asks. To end this. The drive to my parents' house in Carson City takes 15 minutes. 15 minutes to replay 38 years of family barbecues, holiday mornings, birthday cakes, and high school graduations. 15 minutes to bury the people who raised me and the brother who broke me. Mom's sedan is in the driveway, Dad's pickup, Travis's borrowed hatchback, the whole clan, together one last time. I knock on the door like I'm a stranger. Mom opens it, dressed in her Sunday best, her smile dripping with worry. Carter, honey, come in. We've been so concerned. The living room hasn't changed since I was a kid. Same old couch, same frame photos, same quilted wall hangings, like a shrine to a normal family. Dad's in his armchair, looking older than his 62 years. Travis hovers by the window, twitching like a live wire. Have a seat, son, Dad says. We need to talk. I take the couch, facing them all. The transmitter burns against my skin. Travis says you've been asking about the business. Mom starts. About money. I've been asking about theft. Now, Carter, Dad cuts in, let's not sling accusations. Let's sling facts. 5 years of fake loans. 350 grand swiped from Bennett Electric. My signature forged. The room goes still, except for the faint tick of a wall clock. Who told you that? Mom asks. Nevada State Police, Financial Crimes Unit. They've been on Silver Valley Holdings since February. Travis shifts by the window. Carter, you think I wouldn't figure it out? You thought you could paint me as crazy, steal my business, wreck my marriage, and I'd just roll over? We didn't want to hurt you, Mom says. We were protecting the family. By cooking the books? By keeping the business afloat with my money? Your father's health is failing. We needed to plan for our future. With my money, family money, the business is Travis's and mine. You handed it over 5 years ago. We handed over day-to-day control, Dad says, not ownership. Show me the papers that say that. They don't move. They can't. There's nothing to show. Travis clears his throat. Carter, there's more you need to know. Here it comes. The final knife. The hospital thing, the STDs, that was planned. The words hit like a cold snap. What? Mom found out about me and Julia in February. She said she'd tell you unless I helped with the business mess. Helped how? By making you look unhinged, setting up scenes to back a claim you weren't fit to run things. I stare at the wedding ring still on my finger, glinting like a bad joke. You gave my wife an STD on purpose? We got tested first. Made sure it was treatable, nothing permanent. Good God. Carter, honey, Mom says. We were desperate. The loans were coming due. The business was sinking. It was sinking because you were looting it. We were borrowing against future profits. We meant to pay it back. With what? Insurance money when Dad dies? Dad's head snaps to her. What insurance money? The life insurance policy. $2 million. Enough to clear the loans and set us all up. Ellen, Dad says slow, I canceled that policy 3 years ago. The premiums were killing us. Mom's face drains. You what? I canceled it. I told you I did. You said you were thinking about it. I said I did it. Travis and I lock eyes. For the first time in months, we're on the same side. So there's no insurance money, Travis says. No, Dad confirms. And the loans are still due. Yes. And the business is broke. Yes. Mom collapses onto the coffee table. This can't be happening. It's happening, I say. It's happening because you got greedy, got sloppy, and thought you could outsmart everyone forever. We can sort this out, Mom pleads, her voice shaky. Sell the house, cash out assets. You can't fix federal crimes, I say. Bank fraud, wire fraud, identity theft, conspiracy. Those are felonies. How do you know so much about federal law? Dad asks, eyes narrowing. I tap the transmitter tucked under my shirt collar. Because I've been wired up for the last hour, and everything you've said is on tape with the state police. The room goes quiet, like a circuit just blew. Travis starts chuckling, a low, raw sound. You sly dog, he says, grinning. You vengeful, brilliant dog. Travis, Mom whispers, tell me you didn't know about this. I've been working with the cops for 2 weeks, Mom. This was my plan. Info for immunity. I hand them you and Dad, I walk free. Dad hauls himself out of his armchair, face red. You turned on your own parents? I turned on the people who made me turn on my brother, the ones who stole my future and pinned it on me. We raised you, Mom says. We loved you, sacrificed for you. You used me. You twisted me into a knife to cut Carter. You weaponized me against my own blood. She turns to me. And you? You're letting them cuff your own mother? I'm letting them cuff a crook who happens to be my mother. Sirens wail, closing in. There's still time, Dad says, frantic. We can burn the papers. Say we were framed. Those are copies, I tell him. The police have the originals, bank records, security footage, phone taps. It's done. The sirens stop outside. Car doors slam. Detective Ramsey knocks. State police. We have warrants. I pull the transmitter off my shirt. I'm out. Carter, Mom says, grabbing my arm. Think about what this does to our family's name, the business, your kids. I am thinking about Mia and Owen. I'm thinking about teaching them that choices have consequences and family doesn't get a free pass from justice. You're destroying everything your father built. No, you did that. I'm just sweeping up the rubble. The door swings open. Detective Ramsey steps in with 2 uniformed officers. Ellen Bennett, Henry Bennett, you're under arrest for bank fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit identity theft. Handcuffs snap shut like breakers clicking into place. Travis Bennett, Ramsey continues, per your cooperation agreement, you're free to go, but stay in Sparks. What about Carter? Mom asks as they guide her out. Carter Bennett is a victim and a witness. He's free to go. They haul my parents off in separate cars. Neighbors gawk from their lawns. The Bennett family mess will headline tomorrow's Sparks Tribune. Travis and I stand in the empty living room, surrounded by 40 years of family snapshots. Now what? He asks. Stay away from Julia. Stay away from my business. Stay away from me. Carter, I know you can't stand me. I don't hate you, Travis. I don't feel anything. You're just some guy who looks like my brother. It doesn't have to be like this. It does. You made your calls. I made mine. What about the business? Bennett Electric's done. I'm starting fresh, new name, clean books. And me? You're a felon who snitched to dodge jail. Find your own path. I head for the door. Carter, Travis calls. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. It's worth nothing. I drive to Marcus's salvage yard to pick up Julia's SUV and Travis's boat. Evidence secured, debts cleared. Heard there was some drama at your folks' place, Marcus says. News spreads fast in a small town, especially when cuffs are involved. I sign papers transferring the boat and SUV to settle Travis's debts to the business. Legal, clean, done. What's your plan for them? I ask. Sell the boat, scrap the SUV, cover my fees, keep the change. Fair deal. Back at Bennett Electric, I pack my tools and personal files. Karen helps me load boxes. So it's really over? She asks. This chapter's done. New one starts Monday. Need an office manager? Can you work for a guy who doesn't rob his own company? I think I can swing that. Jimmy and the crew gather in the shop as I finish loading my truck. Where we headed, boss? Jimmy asks. Same work, new name. Bennett Electric's dead. Carter Electric kicks off Monday. Same pay, same hours, same job, same crew. Just honest books and better cash flow. Sounds like a plan, Jimmy says. Saturday morning, I'm in custody court, sitting across from Julia and her lawyer, surrounded by the ashes of our marriage. Your Honor, her lawyer starts, my client is concerned about Mr. Bennett's recent erratic behavior. Hold on, Judge Larson cuts in. Are you aware Mrs. Bennett's in-laws were arrested yesterday for bank fraud? We are, Your Honor, but that's unrelated. Are you aware Mrs. Bennett was involved in an extramarital affair with her brother-in-law? Your Honor, are you aware Mr. Bennett has been cooperating with state police in a financial crimes investigation? Julia's lawyer falters. No, Your Honor, we weren't informed of those developments. You should be. Mr. Bennett, I understand you're requesting joint custody with your wife retaining primary residence. That's right, Your Honor. Any objections, Mrs. Bennett? Julia glances at her lawyer, then at me. No, Your Honor. Then it's settled. 9. The judge lays it out. Joint custody, shared costs, standard visitation. It's over in 15 minutes. 12 years of marriage cut clean, like snipping a wire. Carter, Julia says as we step out of the Carson City Courthouse. Can we talk? What's left to say? Us? The kids? What's next? You live with your choices now. So do I. I didn't mean for it to go this far. How far did you plan it? Just a little cheating? A little betrayal? A little lying to my face for 5 months? I thought you were leaving me. Your mom said, my mom's a crook and a liar. You knew that, or you should have. I was scared. You were selfish. Big difference. What about Mia and Owen? They get 2 parents who don't lie to them anymore. That's better than before. I walk off before she can reply. Sunday, I take Mia and Owen to a diner in Sparks for breakfast. Normal dad time. Waffles, orange juice, chatter about school, friends, weekend plans. Dad, Mia asks, why'd Grandma and Grandpa get arrested? They took money that wasn't theirs. Like stealing? Exactly. Why'd they do it? I don't know, sweetheart. Sometimes people make bad calls. Are you and Mom getting back together? No, we're not. Are you sad? I'm sad it happened, but I'm not sad it's done. Owen looks up from his plate. Can we get a dog now? Why a dog? Mom doesn't like dogs. If she's not living with us, we can get one. Kids, man. We'll see, buddy. Monday morning, I open Carter Electric's doors for the first time. Same crew, same trucks, same tools, new name on the sign, new numbers in the bank, new family running things. Karen answers the phone. Carter Electric, this is Karen. Sounds right. First calls from the Hendersons. Their garage outlet quit over the weekend. On our way, I tell them. Jimmy and I head to their house in Reno, the same place I was wiring when Travis and Julia's affair kicked off. Full circle, new ending. Probably a GFCI trip, Jimmy says as we pull up. Simple fix, reset the breaker, test the lines, take payment. Honest work, honest pay. You know what I like about electricity? Jimmy asks as we pack up. What's that? It's reliable. Follow the rules, it works. Break them, it doesn't. Not like people. Not like people. That evening, I sit on my porch, watching the sunset over Sparks. Alone, but not empty. Free, but not gloating. Starting fresh, but not from zero. My phone rings. Private number. Carter Bennett. Rebecca Torres, Channel 5 News. We'd like to interview you about your family's arrests and your work with the police. Pass. It's a chance to share your side. My side's simple. My family stole from me. I turned them in. That's it. There's more to it. The betrayal, the emotional toll. The emotions are private. The betrayal's on record. Story's done. I hang up, shut off my phone. Tuesday, my parents plead guilty. Mom gets 3 years in federal prison. Dad gets 2 years probation. Travis's immunity deal holds, and he skips town that day, heading west to who knows where. Julia takes a job at an insurance office in downtown Reno. We pass each other on the street sometimes. Nod, keep moving. Mia and Owen adapt to the new normal with that kid knack for rolling with change. A month later, Bennett Electric shuts down for good. A roofing company buys the building at auction, rips down the old sign, puts up their own. Carter Electric grows steady. Clean books, no drama, just solid work at fair prices. 6 months after the arrests, I'm rewiring a cafe kitchen when my phone pings. Text from Travis. In Seattle. Got a gig with an electrical outfit. Starting fresh. Good luck, Carter. I know you won't forgive me, but I'm grateful for the wire. For turning in Mom and Dad. For making me face who I was. I reply, take care. You too, brother. Brother. The word doesn't sting anymore. Doesn't mean much either. A year later, Julia remarries. A solid guy from the credit union, 2 kids of his own. Good to Mia and Owen. They invited me to the wedding. I say no thanks, send a gift. 2 years later, Dad has a heart attack in prison. I take the kids to the funeral. Mom's there cuffed, flanked by marshals. We don't talk. Travis shows up, looking steadier, like he's learned to carry his consequences. We shake hands by the grave, swap small talk about jobs and weather, part without plans to reconnect. 3 years later, I'm in my office at Carter Electric when Karen drops off the mail. Utility bills, vendor invoices, and a wedding invitation. Travis Bennett's getting married to Lauren Hayes in Seattle, Washington. Small ceremony, just family and close friends. I RSVP with regrets and send a nice gift. 5 years on, Carter Electric's got 12 employees and a backlog of clients. I bought a house near the kids' school in Sparks so Mia and Owen can walk home. Mia's in high school now. Owen's in middle school. They know the truth about what happened to our family, age-appropriate versions that get fuller as they grow. One evening, while we're tackling Mia's geometry homework, she asks, Dad, do you ever miss how things were? I miss the version I thought was real, but that version was built on lies. So you don't regret what you did? I regret it had to be done. Not that I did it. Would you do it again? Every time. She nods, dives back into her equations. Sharp kid getting sharper. 10 years later, another wedding invitation lands. This one's tougher. Mia Bennett, my daughter, is marrying Daniel Foster, a city planner who treats her right and makes her laugh. I walk her down the aisle in the same Reno church where Julia and I tied the knot 22 years ago. Same place. New story. Dad, Mia whispers as we reach the altar. Thanks. For what? For showing me integrity beats keeping the peace. You figured that out yourself. I learned it watching you. I hand her off to her husband and take my seat in the front row. Julia's 3 chairs down with her husband. We nod, civil, distant, done. After the reception, I drive home through streets I've known forever. Past the old Bennett Electric building, now a thriving HVAC shop. Past my parents' old house sold years ago to a family with 2 kids. Past the hospital where it all began with test results and ugly truths. At a stoplight, I think about the choices that got me here. The wire I wore, the parents I turned in, the brother I lost, the wife I divorced, the business I buried and rebuilt. No regrets. Some heaviness, sure, but no regrets. The light turns green. I head home to my quiet house, my clean books, my honest life. My phone rings as I pull into the driveway. Unknown number. Carter Bennett. It's Travis. His voice after 5 years. Hey, Travis. I wanted you to know Lauren and I are expecting a boy. Congrats. We're naming him Carter. The words hit harder than I expected. Travis, we can't undo what happened. I know, but what you did, turning in mom and dad, making me face myself. It saved me. I'm gonna raise this kid to know right from wrong. He's lucky to have you. I hope so. I want to be the dad you were. You can be whatever dad you choose to be. That's the deal. Carter, it's too late for us, but not for him. Maybe someday when he's older. Maybe. Take care, brother. You too. I hang up, sit in my truck, watching the stars pop out over sparks. Families, choices, the circuits that tie us together, some worth fixing, some better cut to avoid more damage. The trick is knowing which is which. I head inside, lock the door, flip off the lights. Tomorrow, Carter Electric opens for another day of straight-up work. Life keeps moving. Clean, steady, true. My phone buzzes one last time. Text from an unknown number. Thank you. No name, no explanation needed. I delete it, plug my phone in to charge. Some circuits hold strong, some break, some carry current for years before they burn out. I've learned to live with them all.